The new Jaw Titan is here, FALCO'S Jaw Titan. Have you ever wondered how would a mixture of Beast and Jaw Titan look like? Well, if you had that question and you were tired of looking at the fan animation, then finally we have an answer for you. The 11th episode of Season 4 Part 2 of Attack on Titan was titled Flames, Fire Heat. The original material was much raised, and MAPPA seriously did an excellent job when it came to this one. This was more than worth it, and it was a necessary sacrifice for the sake of reviving the series' enthusiasm. If you also liked this episode as much as we did, then why not like the video? Now, since Eren departed from the center of the stage, Attack on Titan has been a sad show that hasn't been blowing up on social media like it used to. It was giving the final season of Game of Thrones vibes. I don't think that there is anyone who likes the final season of Game of Thrones. What in the manga was about 2 shots or so ended up being an entire display in the anime of these soldiers zipping around as our 2 Titan shifters did their best to brutalize them. From there, we'd have yet another significant hurdle placed in front of our group, in what was already an extremely precarious situation as the Azumabito engineers expressed a tense reaction to our group. What was obviously time that these guys didn't have was any way they'd be able to successfully repel their enemies for that long, let alone the speeds at which Eren's stampede of colossal titans could move. As Hanji further deduced that in about 4 days, the monstrosities would have already trampled the entirety of the continent, even if they managed to get moving in half a day's time. The visuals provided for this in the anime were different from those in the manga, but regardless, the same emotions are conveyed, so it's all good. There is one more thing that will give you the perfect emotion, and that is to subscribe to the channel. So why not do that already? Now, interestingly enough, in the anime, they provide these guys with an actual map to plan things out, which considering the ongoing conflict I can't say makes the most sense in the world. Now the Titan action we received in this one was terrific. However, it should be noted that when Mikasa informs Annie of their plan, she does not object, at least in the manga version, and she does wonder if they will be able to defeat Eren by taking such a course of action. She would also wonder if they will be able to get to Liberia in time to find her father, and I suppose it is unfortunate that this did not make it into the anime version. As we must remember, Annie's personal stakes in this fight are entirely based on her father's survival, which is previously stated by Hanji. Liberia was undoubtedly in a lot of danger at the time. So any major miscalculation in their timing would cost Annie her entire reason for moving forward at all. But anyways, as the Azumabito mechanics made their way out and towards the boat, Flock and his men would take notice and begin to redirect their attention. I feel like the Titan shifters and their importance have overshadowed mainly many of the things we enjoyed about the Attack on Titan, including the ODM gear. These guys move like extremely lethal versions of Spider-Man out here, and it is so much fun to watch. They are really nice with it, and that is a reality I feel we have deviated quite a bit from. So it is always such a pleasure to observe now Flock for as sinister and deranged as he is. As you realize the objective of the Azumabito and Reiner would come to their aid in transit by way of his hardened exterior acting as a shield from enemy gunfire. But boy, would they let this man have it with their thunder spears. These things are most definitely the Armored Titan's least favorite invention. Since their creation, that hardened exterior of his just hasn't been the same. The female Titan would end up being disregarded for the sake of taking out the Titan. The battle is definitely beginning to show, and Reiner would get a face full of thunder spears. From this point, Annie would have to continue using the guy as a shield. They just kept blasting this man. As Falco now being the new Jaw Titan, Peak expressed her willingness to join the fight. Once they'd all made it to the ship, they'd warn them that the first transformation never goes well, as we know from Eren's first transformation. Still, despite this warning, Falco would run off on his own, leaving them to group up with Magath in an injured Armin. Meanwhile, enemy reinforcements were on their way by train, much to Hanji's dismay, as their group would be wiped out if they arrived, as the whole thing would then be obliterated by a massive explosion, the cause of which would be unknown to our various characters. But damn, to do something like that required a lot of resolve and certainty in such a case. All the while, Falco was stabbing himself with a nail he'd found in the hopes of invoking a transformation. But things were really bad for Reiner and Annie. They couldn't move, and the female Titan had lost its head when it came time for the Jaegers to finish them off. Ani pulled up faster than he'd ever gone before, determined to lay these boys out in the most heinous manner possible. But he wasn't alone. The entire gang was over here, spilling blood. If you are also enjoying this as much as I, then so share it with one of your friends. Sharing is caring, you know. Now, it was time for a new Titan shifter to rise. This beast is ridiculously cool, and certainly one of the coolest looking Titans ever. The new Jaw Titan goes so much harder than it did in the manga. If you say it's the best, I might have to agree with you. It appears as if Zeke's spinal fluid messed with the appearance of FALCO'S Jaw Titan, making it somewhat of a hybrid between the Jaw and Beast Titans, and this thing immediately put in that work. Its appearance made all the difference. He was going berserk. Remember what I said before, do not be so distracted that you overlook the greatness of the ODM gear, and that man Flock is an absolute legend. This battle sequence from him was unreal. He got past the new Jaw Titan, repelled and knocked back the commander of the scouts, evaded the Cart Titan, and then blasted her at close range with a Thunder Spear. And after all that, he was about to blast a hole in the ship, but Gabby pulled the trigger. People need to keep this little girl away from triggers. The last time when she pulled one, I cried for 20 minutes straight. Gabby is made differently, and she's the type of shooter who keeps Steph Curry practicing in the gym, but with their commander gone, it was game over for those Jaeger boys. And oh my goodness, my word, the way Mikasa watched these fools is how I'm trying to move in Elden Ring. She is a whole menace to society, and Mappa showed out because they didn't do this in the manga. She had these fools running for their lives, but despite the battle being in their favor at this point, it's virtually complete. Falco was pulling an Incredible Hulk and going insane. Thankfully, it wouldn't take long for the general to remove Falco from the Titan's body, at which point he'd console him and congratulate him on a job well done before leaving the others. Magath did not join the others because of the nearby Marleyan cruiser, which, if given the opportunity, would have the speed to catch up to the others and sink their ship, so he needed to deal with it from there. We would then hear Magath's final sentiments, which would speak of sin regarding the command of child soldiers, and that now he was fighting for a world in which they could all lead normal lives. For as much as he had been guided and blinded by the culture and his culture and the fact that they were all of Eldian origins, at the end of the day they were human. We had previously addressed about Annie's reason for fighting. Hanji would admit to her that they could not save Liberio from the rumbling, which would bring Annie to her knees, as she would question her purpose in remaining. Still, Hanji would express the late General Magath's understanding. He knew Liberio and Marley wouldn't survive the rumbling, but he gave his life to save as many people as he could, even if they were faceless strangers. Annie was broken at this point, and she began to cry and asked Mikasa if she could kill Eren. She also questioned if Mikasa would be able to sit back and watch her attempt to do so. She also denied any desire to fight the rest of them, and I adore it. I don't think this scene had ever struck a chord with me before, but wow, fantastic job, Mappa. That was all about episode 11, and I absolutely loved it. I just have no words to describe all these emotions that I'm feeling right now. Attack on Titan, you won. Now you guys go down in the comments and tell us which one was your favorite moment from the episode. Don't forget to like, and if you like anime, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel, as there is always more to learn about anime, and we will bring you every news. Until the next time, bye bye.